to share screen over here, okay, please let me know that, okay. So I'm going to double check basically those attendance, okay, because I have to submit those kind of bar lists. Basically, I'm going to be submit them basically on this Friday there, okay. So I have to double check basically some of the names, which is your group. Basically, a few number of students basically have been deferred, basically, okay, and some of them is missing in actions, okay. So I have to confirm back again, okay, according to your attendance list there, okay. This is basically our bar list, basically kind of thing, okay. So those who have that kind of in the bar list, okay, they might going to be call you guys, okay, those students there, and they're going to be discuss what's basically the matters that happens there, okay, whether they are going to be continue or not, basically, to continue with the course or not, okay, because maybe some of them have some troubles that we never know there, okay. They're not basically going to be informed us there, okay. So that means, right, okay, I have to do basically my own thing, basically to make sure that some of the students could help the administrations to work on that. All right. So anyone want to share screen? Kelvin, are you prepared to share screen there, right? Okay, take a look back again how I actually develop basically those kind of finishing, presenting basically my kind of what we call the illustration at the same time over here, okay, to add some of the backgrounds, okay, to add also some of those small elements that can give more presentable kind of looks on your design, okay, on your illustration at the same time, okay. But one of the most important thing that you have to remember here is all about how to move basically your hand and stroke according to your kind of reference there. Develop your kind of round skills. All right, okay, those are the first thing that you have to make sure that, okay, because I saw some of your friends, they kind of afraid to move their hands correctly there, okay, so they need more kind of focus and attentions on that there, okay, pay more attentions on that there, okay. That's why I really want to see basically how actually you move your hands correctly to develop basically your skill according to these methods that fits, because they're going to be effective basically the whole process of developing your skill later on, okay, when you develop your kind of understanding to visualize your ideas. Okay, all right, guys. Kelvin, are you ready there to share your screen?
Yes.
All right, thank you there, Kelvin. There, okay. You may share your screen now, so we can see what happened with what we can actually do from there. All right, okay. All right, work on that. Good luck there, right? All right, prepare yourself. Right, based on my kind of what we call that counts over here, there, right? It's a very good kind of progressive, okay, on most of the students here to send it over your kind of what we call that submissions. But hopefully at least, oh, Junbin will hear there, right? Okay, it's not submitted, right? I think the rest of you guys will be doing good, okay? Thank you there, okay, for submissions there. Zhen Xiong still not here, right? Zhen Xiong?
Yeah, my internet connection a bit
Oh,
poor.
you're here, right? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Zhen Xiong. Wei Hong, see Wei Hong? Xiao Hui? Okay. Okay, this is from Calvin there, okay. It looks right, okay, looks nice, okay, those strokes over here. Try to make it consistent there, right? All right, can you look at those nodes there, okay, back again? Okay, when you draw them, the eyes itself there, okay, look carefully how actually you're going to draw them, okay? It's basically the faces when you draw them, okay, it just look like you're tracing them, okay? You not draw properly those kind of line works there, right? Okay, Kelvin? I need you have to do a lot of work for those faces here. Comparing to what you saw from my demonstration and yours right now, okay, the hairlines looks okay there, okay, for the starter, okay? Okay, those kind of movement, strokes, flow, okay, but the faces there, all right? If you're comparing your faces when you draw them, okay, with my kind of understanding when I actually draw them back, it's obviously, okay, look far beyond what we want to achieve there, okay, all right? The nose line and strokes there has to be confidence a little bit there, okay? You may going to use pencil brushes first to draw those structures there, okay? All right? Don't focus on the shadings yet. Focus on your drawing strokes there first. All right? Your eyebrow also can be improved more there, okay? I think you can redraw back again there, okay? So to make sure that you really develop the understanding from there. Okay, if you take a look back again, right, okay? When you draw basically those kind of line works for those faces there. Try to get a very consistent kind of line at the same time, the quality of line that you can press over to those strokes. Okay, when you draw them there. All right, Kelvin? There's more thing we can, okay, because when you draw those strokes from those ears, looks okay there, okay? Look, there's confidence from there. But when it comes to draw those eyes, nose, lips, I don't find any confidence from there. All right, so check back again my reference, okay, and my kind of demonstration, my kind of samples, how actually I managed to work with those kind of drawings there. Start with the pencil brushes, not the ink brushes there first. Why we have to use pencil brushes? Because it helps you to have that kind of continuity and also coordination when you actually use those traditional kind of pencils there to draw and apply them back and improve the motions, the flows, the strokes of your drawing line at the same times. Okay, using pencil brushes, ultimate pencil hard brushes that works on that. The size around 8 or 10 kind of point the size there. Okay, Calvin, work on that. All right, build up those confidence from there. Tianran, are you doing okay there, Tianran? Look carefully to the shape. Okay, don't draw too fast there, right? Okay, draw slowly there, right? Zoom in a little bit there, right? Huh? Draw slowly, capture the shape, the structures, the flows of those curved lines. Okay, when you draw those curved lines for those eyes. Be patient there to move your hand slowly there, okay, to draw them. Repeat the line basically according to the same kind of coordinations there, same kind of path there, okay, to work on that. And control the brushes carefully when you draw using pencil brush. You can feel basically the structure. Don't draw fast like a pro there, okay. Even a pro like me also don't draw that fast, okay, but control the line works at the same time. See, you draw one single stroke at the same time there, okay. You cannot control them. All right. If you check, look how I actually draw them. Draw slowly there. Move their hands there. Curve line there. Okay. But repeat the line. Don't draw one single line there. Okay. You won't be able to develop that kind of skills right now if you draw one single line there, right? Draw one stroke. What we call that? According to the same path. Okay. Repeat the strokes there. Okay. Repeat the line there. Right? Okay. Slowly to work on that. Feel with your hands that way. Don't draw one single line. You still draw one single line from there. Okay, you still draw one single line there, okay? Why? You think you can achieve the same thing like I actually have done before? No there, okay? But I'm using basically different kind of methods all the times that works on that. All right, take a look over here. Take a look closely there, right? Can you see my screen over here? Kelvin, respond them back. Can you see my screen there, right? Can you see that, right? Huh? Even though there is no full line over here, can you see how actually I draw them? I repeat the line there, right? But the line has the consistent kind of movements there. And I actually can control them back there, see? One of the way you can practice your drawing skills, not tracing skills there. Can you see that, Kelvin? Respond there, right?
Yes.
Okay, just now when you draw, okay? There. You want to draw a single line like this. Even I'm also had that kind of difficulty sometimes to draw this single line like this. Okay? See? Repeat the line there, right? Okay? Consistently, and then also you can actually improve more on your etching line at the same time. Right? Moving your hands there, see? Exercise your hand, your wrist when you draw them there, see? All right, and then you can draw a bit more faster there. When you have that kind of confidence that works there. You have to watch a lot of people how to draw there, right? Okay? But I actually have shown you guys also that it works. You see, I didn't actually serve myself, okay, for the devil basically to draw or trace them, right? I kind of become a rebel a little bit, okay, when it comes to develop the strokes there. Don't follow basically the whole things there, okay, but I try to manage to develop basically my kind of way of working at the same time there. But if you seems doesn't have that kind of understanding from here, how to work on that, follows my path there, okay? And then you can actually build up back again your kind of way of working there later on. So I mixed up around with the contour line drawings at the same time over here with some of the areas that I'm not sure basically to work on that, if I'm not sure on working on that. I don't want to, what we call that, mixed up some of the methods that you might not going to be understand, or you might going to get more confused there, okay? Right now, basically, I'm using whatever that we have saw in our eyes, okay, from our visions over here to develop, okay? Even though I can basically give you guys some example, okay, to draw this kind of elements, okay, back again, draw those structures over here, okay. But when I actually use this kind of methods there to some of you guys there, okay, it gives you guys more confusions there, okay, to develop basically your kind of understanding. All right. So right now we mixed up there, okay, those kind of methods there, okay. Why don't you actually try to draw them back, but by using basically your drawings methods there, okay, techniques there to work on that, etchings at the same time, okay, to draw them, and you can combine also with your contour line drawings there, okay, to work on that, okay, to work on that. Okay? They can mix them around, okay, but the point is right now, when you use your unrecognized kind of methods there, okay, you use basically the methods that I don't know where you actually get from there, right? Okay, it doesn't basically belonging to what we actually have been done it before in our class there, okay? That's why some of you guys who actually can draw well, yes. Right now you look at how actually I moved that, okay. Look carefully there, guys, okay. Watch carefully there, using your eyes there to work on that. Observations kind of techniques there, okay. Unless you were blind, basically, right, you cannot actually watch there, okay. Now, basically, you have that kind of understanding by looking at things there. No matter how much time that I try to explain about the way that we're going to work verbally, vocally there, right, okay. But I think one of the greatest kind of moments that you can capture here, all right, is by watch them back there, okay. Observe things, how it works there, and analyze them and try to work on that. Can you actually draw while you're talking? Is it easy there, okay, to draw while talking there? Can you draw while talking there, right? Guys? Anyone can draw while talking there? Okay, like me there, okay, I'm talking a lot there, okay, while I draw there, okay. Can you actually apply the same thing there? If you can't, basically, you know basically how hard basically to develop that kind of skills there, right? But follows them back there, okay. Even if you cannot actually, okay, understand what I'm talking about there, okay, the most greatest gift that you have is your eyes there. Look and watch carefully and start to adapt them back. Okay, don't try to be stubborn basically to say, okay, I can draw more better than this one if I want to there, okay. If you want to there, okay, but prove it is basically if I'm wrong. Simple as that, okay. So the thing is right now there, guys, okay, I'm not saying that you have to basically become my clone there, okay, no there, okay, but I'm providing guys some of the methods that works, okay. I'm demonstrate to you guys that works, okay? I'm using very, very sketchy kind of line over here, guys, but the most important thing that you have to remember, okay, is it look presentable or not, okay. It will basically will give you more values when it comes you develop your skill from here, okay. We're not doing some sort of like any advanced techniques there, guys. Can you see how actually I draw them using those pencil line there first, okay. All right, see how I actually move my hands over here consistently there, right, okay, to work on that. Some areas for those, what we call that shadows over here, right, I can shade them up there, right, okay, using this kind of etching techniques, okay, sketch line etching techniques there, okay. You can mix them around with different kind of etching if you want to, okay, to add more tone and values over here, all right. But you can also combine them later on there, okay, using basically the textures of the shadows here. I'm going to change the size a little bit, okay, into 10 points over here, right? And can you see how actually I move my hands there? All right, I'm basically using back and forth kind of strokes there, okay, to work on that. Okay, using my hands there, okay. Am I actually open up my cameras over here? Okay, yes, there. Okay. I'm using my hands, okay, my wrist basically there to move, but try to feel basically the motion itself, okay, when you draw them, right? I know basically it's hard to draw those fur line for those these animals over here. Am I focused on those details? Am I worried too much on I can actually develop the right kind of tone from here? I don't give a damn about it yet, okay, but I try to manage to follow exactly from what I saw there, okay, by using my kind of understanding to develop those kind of drawings over here. It's look more rough there, right, okay, from here. But it shows basically your confidence at the same time there, okay. I can mix around with this kind of, with this contour line drawings there, guys, see? This is basically the paw there, right, okay, of these animals there. So I can combine them, right, okay, using this contour line at the same time. This is basically the paw, okay. I know it's basically quite complicated, okay, for beginners to understand over here, okay. But if you doesn't understand that, right, okay, one of the best thing for you guys to execute using the contour line drawings there, that mixed up around all together there. Contour line drawings is not a basics drawings there, guys. It's a techniques, it's a methods there that you guys can apply along the way with your kind of drawing skills. If you thought your drawing skill is good enough, okay, but when you present it, it look more worse, okay, that means you're not doing right. Okay, Kelvin? Okay, mixed up around with this technique that I actually have shown you guys and how it works here. So from here, if I want to blend basically back again, okay, I just say I'm using basically those shadings over here, right, okay. Shades a little bit there on the shadows there, right? If you take a look right now, right, okay, I did not basically has any kind of attention there, okay, to develop that kind of perfections in these drawings there. I didn't actually worry too much on, how actually I draw this text there, okay. I'm following basically the silhouette shapes that apply from this reference. Okay, you can see the shadows, okay. You can break down basically the shape there, okay. The negative space that actually, that we saw from this reference. That's why we use this grayscale tone difference. Okay, grayscale tone difference there. So to help us to analyze some of the areas that we might going to be adapted, okay. Sorry there, right there, this one. Okay. To focus on the tone itself, therefore. Okay, take a look here. And it will give you more natural kind of looks there, right? For the whole presentations later on. Okay? The perfections of your kind of presentation will came naturally there, okay, when you actually have started to analyze, okay, and break down all the shadows, okay, when you saw from this reference over here. All right. If we're talking about illustrations there, guys, we're not talking about super realistic kind of illustrations drawing. Even though I did some of those demonstrations over here that suddenly, okay, whatever that I shared basically is not appeared there again. Only some of the demonstration from your friend, okay, on Monday there, okay. I'm quite very frustrated a little bit, okay, on those demonstrations there, which is I actually maybe some technical kind of issue that I actually didn't actually manage to control from there directly. I only have those results that work on that. So that's why I demonstrate back again. But right now there, okay, I try to demonstrate based on different kind of reference there, which is not from our reference over here. But I want to show you guys how I actually solve the problems that Page works on that. Okay, if we take a look closely there, okay, I did not focus on the perfections, but it will come naturally later on, because in illustrations, first of all, what you should do there, okay, try to adapt to basically the shadows there, and then the whole thing are going to become naturally when you actually add more kind of detailing on the highlight at the same time there, right? Okay, those are the things here. All right. So, but you focus more on the perfections there. Okay, you want to draw exactly what you saw, but still doesn't look right It's because these techniques you're doing is wrong. You're not focusing basically on your techniques. You're focusing on those results there. Okay, your minds play tricks on you all the time there, okay, when you draw this. That's why you cannot make it right. Okay, and I didn't actually blend all the shadows, core shadows, too much there, okay, in order to add some of the details there. I always leave basically some of the tone, okay, become a bit more what we call that soft, and have those kind of reflections light that actually appear from every single kind of drawings there, okay. It control more on your kind of tone there, okay, before you're going to add some of the details later on. Yeah, okay, those are the things there. Okay, now basically let's just say I want to add some shadows over here. Yeah, you can, okay. Before that, okay, this animal basically we have around here. Okay, what we can do, we can actually start to work with the soft brushes. Don't forget to adjust the flows, all right, and then reduce a little bit more on the tone right here, okay, and I start to blend it up there, right. So the best way basically to blend it up, okay, you can actually duplicate those kind of images over here, put aside. This one you can close, okay, so you can make more better kind of what we call that kind of studies there, right. Okay, where is it there, right? So I didn't actually put some selections there first, right, okay. You see there, okay, how actually I draw those kind of line, okay. I change the size there, okay. The size of those brushes all the time there, okay. Then I want to add those kind of details. Okay. Watch carefully there, Kelvin there, okay, back again. And the rest of you guys also there, right? So I'm using a circling kind of shadings over here. Wait. But whatever that I do there, okay, I always control the pressures nicely there, okay? Slowly there, right? If you can actually manage to draw faster, okay, draw on your own pace, speed there, right? But once you actually can control basically your pressure point there, okay, and your strokes, then you can begin to do more there, okay. You can actually draw a bit more faster there. Make the size a bit. Don't make your shadows become sloppy there, okay. Remember that. So always refer to your kind of reference there, see. Slowly, I'm going to work on that. At the size a bit more. Yeah, see. Train your eyes basically to look into all these kind of details there. Because there's much kind of responsibility from one drawing there normally. See? For the fur line, sometimes you can use using those shadings there. Can increase basically your kind of what we call that tone, or your kind of pressure point, or your kind of what we call that flows, okay, according to those kind of detailing that you want later on there. One other thing that I actually teach you guys right now, right? I didn't actually draw every single kind of fur line there, every single kind of hairlines. I'm focusing on the shapes of those textures that can actually work to manage those kind of what we call that texture that can apply, and again, as you can apply basically to develop the strokes of those hair there, okay? All this kind of what we call the process takes a lot of time there, okay? That's why normally if I'm not teaching there, okay, I kind of avoid all this kind of illustrations. Because my passion basically right now is beyond basically what you saw, what I did basically from my kind of demonstrations of it in terms of styles and techniques there. You can see that, okay, they slowly develop that kind of sense of tone that we want there, okay, from there. Okay, we can actually add a bit kind of highlights over there. Okay, highlight a little bit. This part basically has a highlight there, okay. Slowly work on that. There's so much thing that we can actually do there, okay, right now, but work slowly, okay. Work carefully there, okay, to work on that. Be patient, right? Observe things well, right? You will get into that kind of what we call that kind of level that you want there, okay? If you be patient on that. And of course, you're going to have a pain kind of hands, right? Your hands, your elbow, basically, are going to be felt a bit kind of hard a little bit there, right? Okay, so let it flow a little bit. Press a little bit there. Strokes. Kind of change this now, basically, those kind of what we call that. So when I'm moving the flows there, okay, the hair flows, okay, according to the structures of those hair directions there. And still we have to do more works from here. Okay, to add more and more details there, okay. Still have that, okay. We can mix around later on with those pencil brushes back again. Okay, you see the difference there? When I'm using those white kind of colors there, okay, for those strokes. Okay. I didn't actually use basically only one particular kind of, we call that brushes only there, okay, to mix with my kind of illustrations. I'm always mix around there, okay, with different kind of what we call that brushes over here, all right. The thing that I saw right now, basically, okay, basically some of those patterns over here. So right now I'm on tracing them, but I try to draw the suggestions that first away. If I'm doing wrong, I'm going to improve them back later on. So I'm going to mix them around with those ink brushes over here. Just the sides a little bit. some of the areas that you might not going to be so directly. This one basically. So if you look carefully, you can see basically that kind of what we call that kind of details there. Huh? This one basically we can actually cover these areas there. I can add a bit kind of detailings on those eyes. The line works over here. They always can actually develop the mixtures right on those line works at the same time there. See? Because all these kind of detailings there, okay, it will be a part of those aesthetical values that you actually can manage to works, okay, to show basically, to presenting basically in your drawings there later on. Okay. Once you actually go a bit more further on those distance, you actually can show a bit more on your kind of line works that can appear from here. That's why mixture with those kind of drawing strokes and line are really important there. You're not talking about the perfections that all the time that but you can manage to work on those kind of what we call that the right kind of what we call that look and feels naturally with your presentations. That's basically the thing that we actually try to apply right now. Okay, I didn't actually teach you guys how to focus on perfections there, but we can try to manage to work on that kind of what we call that the right kind of way. All right, more towards to that kind of naturally there, okay? They become natural kind of looks there, okay? Especially on your kind of presentations over here. Slowly there, we can actually develop them, right? Using a limited kind of brushes. I didn't use any kind of fancy brushes there, but I'm using basically all the tools, the standard brushes that we have, okay, to develop basically our kind of studies, okay, on the subject matters itself there, right? Right, so what I can do right now, basically, I'm going to basically add some shadows over here first. Right, slowly, right, okay. Develop basically some shadows there. So that means, right, okay, these basically animals, basically, right, this lion basically have the ground itself there, right? So what we're going to do right now, okay, how to present it basically, right, okay, your kind of presentations there. Look presentable, look complete, but basically it's not basically too much kind of details there, right? at the size a little bit so I can blend a bit more further on the tone. Okay. Then what we can do right here, start basically to draw basically the background there, right? The ground itself there. See? I draw basically those kind of line works that emphasize on the textures there. Okay, this kind of ground. Am I relying too much on the reference? No, there. Okay, but I'm using basically those reference as a guide there, right? Okay, like that works. So it look presentable. Okay, those are the things that we want to achieve there. Okay, so basically I'm using basically soft brushes back again as one of the elements for those shadows, for those backgrounds here, right? Soft brushes. You can adjust the flows later on if you want to there, okay? If you need more to control on the pressures there, right? See, without focusing too much basically on basically to color the whole things there, right? I can actually develop basically some sort of moment there, okay? On my kind of what we call the presentations over here. The next thing is, okay, and draw basically those kind of present basically those backgrounds, okay? Just to give some sort of glowing effects to focus more on these characters there, okay? On these subject matters there. All right. That's the thing there, guys, okay? They can move in. I can actually develop more from here, okay? But I want to see how actually you work on that also at the same time using the reference that we have. Okay? Watch carefully and works on that, okay? Kelvin? Kevin, you want to start back again there, Kelvin?
Okay.
Okay. All right, Kelvin? All right, nice there, okay? A bit more better, okay? Later on, okay, erase those kind of eyebrow and redraw back again there. All right. Okay, nice, okay? Slowly draw those kind of strokes there, okay? Try to make those strokes a bit more solid there, okay? And stabilize those kind of line drawings there at the same time. Improve more on the nostril, okay? Don't basically, okay, cover too much nostril with the shadings there first, okay? Try to make it more blended, more gradient, okay, more kind of soft kind of tones there, okay? Minimize basically the what we call that, those nostril kind of hole, okay, shadows there, okay? Minimize them, okay, and try to blend it over those kind of skin, all right? Okay, the stroke that you done right now, okay, Calvin, it kind of like very loose and also a bit kind of like doesn't have that kind of confidence there. All right, build up them while you draw here. Don't try to complete too fast, but try to achieve those kind of level of confidence. Okay, now you guys can see that, okay, what Calvin actually have been struggles. Hopefully some of you guys also felt the same way, but try to avoid them, okay? Try to overcome them back, okay? That's the most important thing from all our developments, right? Okay, build up those confidence, really important over here. All right, Kelvin, okay, I can see that you can actually control the pressures of those strokes of shadows really well. But I didn't actually satisfied how actually you manage your drawing strokes. Okay, Kelvin, try to focus on that for this stage, right? The shadows, I think you can actually control really well there, okay? Good there, right? But your drawing strokes were not really fine there right here. I want to see how actually you managed to develop that kind of drawing strokes back again. Okay, Kelvin, that's basically the hardest part that I saw from your kind of demonstrations over here. Calvin, are you hearing me there, right? Did you hear me there, Calvin?
Yeah.
Work with your drawing strokes there. Draw back again those eyes. Okay. I did a lot of examples, okay, to draw those eyes there, okay. A lot there, right? Using those pencil brushes, using those pen brushes there. Work on that, right?
So I want to.
You don't have to delete there, okay? You can actually draw on top of these drawings there. You don't have to delete them, right? Okay. Zoom in a little bit there, okay? Zoom in a little bit. All right. Okay, to the eyes there, okay? And try to get a very solid kind of strokes there. Press a little bit there, press a little bit, but not too much. And try to feel the strokes at the same time when you draw them, right? Don't chase them up there first, okay? Using the soft brushes there. Using basically pencil brushes to add those kind of shadings there, just like that we did before when we draw those horses there, right? Okay? I try to work on that. My demonstrations that I did, okay, for those eyes, I did basically, right, have show on our YouTube there, right? Okay, my YouTube there, okay? I think I made it on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, there, or Friday there, right? All right, what we call that, Calvin, take a look back again. All right, on my videos demonstrations over here, can you see there again on YouTube? How I actually draw those things there, right? Most of the elements over here, check those YouTube there, right? I did not actually trace the whole things. By right, basically the right, I'm try to improvise the thing that I saw, okay, and applying my own kind of understanding on those shapes there to log basically those line work for those eyes. Look carefully there, okay, how actually it works, Kelvin. See the line works of those my line drawings there. I'm using around, for these demonstrations, I'm using around 13 to 15 there, okay, of drawing strokes there, because the size that I'm using right now is around 250 dpi per resolutions there. Take a look how I actually shape those kind of pupil there, okay, from those iris. Using the circulations of line there, right, of the strokes there, I get you works on that. Take a look at Kelvin carefully and apply them back there, right. The whole drawing stroke that you try to apply right here is not that right. Too loose and right, too not define those kind of confidence there. We want to have those confidence there. All right. We want to develop that kind of confidence there right now. That's the whole kind of process of way of working here. Okay, saw that, right? And start working on it back again. All right, the rest of you guys, make sure you don't make the same mistakes there. Okay, redraw back again the whole thing there, okay? And apply them back the same thing with the whole of your drawings over here. Okay, try to get the feel out of it. Press a little bit more further there, right, okay, on the strokes. Press a bit more further on the strokes there. Yes, all right, good there, okay. Press a bit more there, okay. Try to develop the quality of line at the same time there, okay. Okay, draw slowly the shapes, the curved line from there. All right, and try to get a very solid line and stable kind of strokes at the same time there, right. Are you sure that your iris are going to be look like that? The pupil look like that, right? Okay. Look carefully, right? Okay. The pupil too big there, right? Okay. Don't simply draw them, right? Okay. The iris look fine just now, all right? But the pupil that you draw there, okay? See, too small there, okay? Did you actually watch carefully to those reference? All right. Watch carefully to those reference there, because eyes, even though we can improvise them, but make sure basically look logic there, right? Logic through those reference there, to those kind of reference and to those proportion at the same time. They're going to be half circles from there, all right? Okay, look carefully to those pupils, okay? you can basically increase a little bit on your opacity, wash back again your reference there before you draw them. Okay, don't just simply improvise them without. Okay, when you draw those highlights, are you sure the highlight look like that, okay? The shapes of those highlight there, right? Did I actually share with you guys this reference over here? I think I already shared those references there, right? The thing is, you don't wash carefully there, okay, while you draw. Okay. All right, this is my reference over here. Take a look there, okay, this reference. How I actually managed to draw the eyes. I shade them up before I'm going to blend them there, right? And add some highlights later on. Okay, here is mine there, right? Can you see here? I'm using basically the same kind of brushes that you guys use there, okay? Okay, look carefully to those pupils, those iris when you draw. You don't wash them carefully there, right? See how even though if I want to draw one single line, also I have those kind of struggles there. So I change, all right? I change basically there, right? Okay, the way that I develop this kind of strokes there. Can you see? Kelvin and the rest of you guys, take a look closely there, okay? Closely how it works there. All right. Okay, take a look there, okay? And try to work on that, Calvin. I think the stage that you actually have to overcome right now is all about your drawing skills, okay? Shadings will basically improve, okay, when you have develop the right kind of drawing strokes, okay? Remember that. If I don't ask you guys, okay, if I don't ask you basically to share your screen, I won't be able to see your kind of improvements, okay? Your kind of challenging, okay? The rest of you guys also, please take note and learn from here. Okay, one of the main criteria to score, all right, to score the right, okay, is having the right kind of drawing strokes. All right, guys, understand that, right? Okay, score, not to pass only there, okay, to score there, okay. Okay, if you have to target, at least you get B plus or A, right? Okay, A minus or A plus, right? Okay, you must be able to develop the right kind of drawing stroke from now on. No matter how good your shading is, if your drawing strokes doesn't have any confidence, you cannot score basically those kind of projects there, okay? It will goes along the way also back again to your weekly exercise, all right? Okay? The weekly exercise basically to develop that kind of skills there. Right now, you added more advanced, more kind of developments, okay? More kind of level up from your drawings here. But right now, basically, I can understand, okay? Not all people basically have that kind of speed to develop their kind of, what we call that, skills there, okay? Around how many, 10 weeks, okay? 10, 9 weeks there, okay? You develop that kind of understanding there, okay? Some of you guys just draw frequently, what we call what we call that, more basically like not basically frequently there, okay? So it's basically can see from there, okay? If you don't practice your kind of craft, okay? Calvin, you can continue there, right? Okay? Don't be afraid there, right? Okay? It's basically a part of the process of learning there, right? Okay? But you need to develop more further on your understanding while basically you had that moment or your kind of way of working there, okay? But you have to look carefully, guys, okay? Each time basically when you draw them, okay? Look from demonstrations that people did there, okay? I did basically, some people did, okay? And try to analyze while you draw them there. Okay, the point is right now, everything that you want to draw is in front of you, all right? It's in front of you over here, all right? So the things that have challenged you only the way that you look at things back again, the way you actually develop those kind of informations, you receive those informations while you watch the okay? Will not basically fully get a full attention on your kind of mind to understand that. That's basically the things here. So in the process of developing them back there, okay, you need to redraw the whole things. You have to recap all these kind of information all over again. Okay, don't just simply draw something. Okay, you complete and you close the books there, okay? You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to take a look back again. You don't want to analyze them back. That's basically the wrong move there. Okay, You don't have those books to read there again. You don't have those kind of some information that you have to memorize there. You have to memorize from what you see only right now. Okay, using your visual kind of understanding there. You need to work on that. When I saw and I told you, okay, that you have to improve more, you have to control more on the pressures right now, work on that. Basically, Calvin is not finished there, okay, those eyes. You're not finished yet, all right? Okay? There's more thing you have to do from there. All right? So at this stage, basically, Calvin, you have to pay more attention on your drawing skill deficits. Shadings come later. If you have a very good drawing skills, the shadings only basically to support your illustrations there. All right? It's not basically going to make your drawing look better there, okay? Your illustration look better there, okay? It's going to be support to develop the form of your illustrations, right? So you saw basically most of my demonstrations there before there, okay? It's all about those drawing skills there, to develop them here. And you have to pay more attention on that kind of skills there first. All right? Watch more kind of demonstrations and apply them back. Okay? Try not to be stubborn enough not to follow first before you're going to bend or break the rules. Okay? So that's the thing there, okay? Learn, watch, and develop that, okay? From what you see. When you have that confidence, then you can break or bend them, right? Okay? Or you can twist basically those kind of rules there, okay? According to your kind of understanding there. When you have developed those confidence there. Right now, I don't see any confidence yet. Okay, Calvin? And you need to develop that, all right? That's the first thing. All right, focus on that first. Okay, when you want to shade that, Calvin, you can shade also using the same brushes there first. All right, you saw basically how I draw the horses there before, and most of my demonstration that I did there, right? Okay, I'm using the shades using the same brushes there. Don't try to basically, okay, too basically eager, basically, okay, or excited, okay, to change those brushes before you develop the kind of understanding there. Even the flow from this stage, when using those pencils there, I didn't change them. I only change the flows when I'm using soft brushes. Okay, soft brushes there. All right? That's the things. That's basically the tips there, right? So follow them first. Unless you have the kind of good drawing skills, yes, you can basically, right, try to explore a bit more further on your skills there. But like Calvin and some of the rest of you guys, I know they're right, okay? Focus on your drawing skills back again. Okay, try to get the quality of line in there. Okay, I didn't shades like that, Calvin. I really doesn't shades like that. Okay, I'm using a circle line kind of shadings there to work on those kind of tone, right? So use them there, okay? Those sort of things there. Even though the eyes also, the pupil there, okay? The iris and pupil also look not proportionate, okay? Well, from here, from far, basically, we can see whether it is right or not, right? Understand carefully how it works. Okay, be patient there. Okay, be patient there. Be patient and passionate with your works here right now. Are you sure basically the pupil look like that? Okay, make sure when you draw those eyes, it doesn't look crossed there, right? Okay, it doesn't look crossed there, right? Okay, those eyes, those pupil there, okay? Watch carefully back again. Try to look into the distance there, okay, when you draw them there, okay? What is that, Derek? What do you try to draw there, okay? The highlights. Try to look back again, okay, how the highlights going to be here, right, okay? Watch back again my demonstrations there. Okay, take a look at Kelvin there again. How basically I develop those kind of eye strokes at the same time there again. How actually I blend it up there, right? I'm using basically, right, okay, those same kind of brushes there. How actually I managed to develop different kind of quality of line. Okay, different kind of quality of line when I move the strokes there. And the whole strokes become with more confidence. You can see, okay, from the movement itself there, right? Then I draw those hairline, okay, and stroke based on those shadings there. And based on the flows of those textures at the same time there, okay. When I move basically the strokes there, okay, back and forth, basically there, okay, I try to control also my pressures kind of flows from my wrist there, right. Okay, the way that I draw nose straight right now, okay, because I'm doing the drawing kind of line there, okay, because the line drawings that actually have those kind of strokes from those nose trail and the form of these areas, they basically, okay, they have the same consistent kind of line there. What you do just now, okay, there is no consistent kind of line there, okay, because some of the line look quite thin and suddenly jump into a more thick and tone of those nose trail there, okay. They're quite very contrasted. They don't blend in your drawings there. They don't blend together there, okay? They don't came into the same families there, okay? Those are the things that we saw from your drawings here. You see that, okay? It all came naturally with the kind of strokes there, okay? That's basically one of the things that you need to develop also at the same time. All right? I think you start to develop there, okay? What we call that, Kelvin. I think you start to develop there, okay? So don't miss out any kind of improvements. You need to keep track, basically, your kind of improvements there, okay? By not put some notes there, okay? But you try to remember there, okay? What are the movements that you've been done, basically, that get closest to the right kind of methods that you saw from my reference, from my demonstrations there. Those are the things that you have to keep on tracking and remember when you draw them. Don't lose those kind of focus there. Okay? All right. Any questions there, guys? Can you guys open up your webcam for a while there, right? Okay? I want to see your face there before we're going to dismiss there, right? Okay. Open up your webcam for a while there, right? All right, Kelvin, continue them, right? Okay. Don't worry there. I just want to see basically how actually you draw those eyebrows there back again. Okay, don't focus on the shadows yet, but you can actually apply basically those kind of shadows line at the same time when you move your hands, when you control the pressures there. All right. I know that some of you guys also had that kind of difficulty there, guys, okay? Yes, difficulty there. Okay, works on that. Okay, Tian Ren, how is it there?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, again, you want to show basically your demonstration, your kind of samples there, right? We have a few minutes there to work on that.
Okay.
Cayenne, you actually get those kind of tablets quite late there, right? Is it? No.
Not me.
Oh, who actually get those tablets quite late there? Oh, Xixuan there, okay. I want to see basically your result from that. Okay, where is it there, right? This one basically, Kelvin, right? Kelvin, can you stop basically those presentations for a while? Okay, thank you, Kelvin. Okay, this is basically Tian Ren. Okay, I can see some improvement on the stroke on the hair, but how about the eyes there? Right?
Eyes,
Uh,
okay.
how about the eyes there? Right? Okay. All right, we can see some improvement from there, okay, Tianren, okay, good, all right. Because you know, right, Tianren actually has shared with me some of those demonstrations, some of the what we call that difficulty that he has before the okay. Yeah, you can see improvement, okay. Kelvin, you can see the okay, how actually Tianren actually developed basically the strokes, okay, for those eyes there, okay, and the rest of those line works, okay, from his drawings over here. Okay, that's basically one of the important things that you have to remember when you draw them, right? Okay, build up those confidence, okay, slowly, basically, okay, but effectively, you try to memorize, okay, all those kind of movements you're going to take from here, all right? Yeah, I can see that, right? Actually, right, Calvin work on it. So can you see that, right, Kelvin? We've got the Tianren, right? Okay? Can you see that, okay, how actually Tianren actually have the quality of line, how actually he stabilized basically his movements on there, okay? And the next challenging that you can see from here, okay, how he going to develop that kind of pupil on those iris there, right? How actually going to construct this pupil there? Can you see basically the shapes of it? Yeah, this is quite difficult there to see with your naked eyes there. Okay, either you actually just reduce a little bit more further on those opacities, right? Okay, to see that kind of pupils, okay, slowly to work on that, or maybe you have to figure it out there, okay, how actually you're going to develop those pupils there, okay, inside those eyes there. Now, when you shade them up, okay, try to control and reduce the size a little bit, and use those kind of circling kind of shadings there, slowly to blend those kind of shades of your iris there, okay, textures at the same time, and add those highlights, okay, and leave the highlights or leave basically some sort of like the what we call that, the reflections kind of spot of light on your drawings there before you can add those kind of white colors from there. All right, thank you there, Tianren, okay. I can see the kind of improvement from here. Thank you there, okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, just now who actually, okay, Zixuan, is it? Actually, or yeah, that's kind of what we call that. Zixuan, you want to share the ranking?
Oh, okay.
How far you go from there, right? The hairline is quite okay there, right? Okay. Zoom in a little bit, right? Zoom in a little bit. Just like you focus more on the strokes of the hairlines there. Even though there's a few number kind of, okay, later on, okay, the strokes, okay, from those hair, basically, okay, from this side, okay, from the right, from the left side over here, okay, on top of it. You can use actually white colors using the same brushes to draw basically the highlights, okay, to get basically the textures of those flows, okay, from those hair there, okay. Doesn't have to be too dark, too opaque on the shadows there, okay, because it doesn't actually show those kind of what we call that, those kind of harmonize on those hair there, okay, when you draw them, okay, when you actually presented them. How you draw those eyes? Zixuan? Okay, reduce the opacities of those pictures there, please. The opacities on the layers there, right? On the layers there, not on those brushes there, right?
How?
Ah. Reduce the opacities only there, right? Okay, the opacities on the layers only there, right?
How to reduce?
You know where is it? On the top right, on the layers folders over here, there's opacities there, okay? Not on those menu there, okay? In the layers over here, layers there, okay? There, okay? Top right there, okay? Top right, not that one there, right? You can see the opacity, right? Okay, buttons over there. Top right, you see opacity. Top right of the layers button there. Is it right? Okay, guys, top right.
This
Not that one lah, sayang. This one there, right? This one there, right? Okay, top right there. All right, okay, let me show the right, okay. All right, can you see my kind of what we call that? Okay, my kind of screens over here, all right? Can you see the layers over here? My cursor there, right? Can you see the opacity over here there, right? This one. This one. Can you see?
Oh.
All right. Okay. Reduce opacities over there. Then you can draw the right. Okay? You try to draw those eyes there, right? So from here, I can see basically Zixuan actually had that kind of understanding that you work with this kind of line. Can you zoom in a little bit there, right? Zoom in a little bit, zoom in a little bit, all right? Okay. Try to draw the strokes. All right, Calvin, take a look at Calvin, okay? How actually, right, one of your friends also tried to develop the strokes over here. Learn, watch carefully there, right? Yes, very good, all right. All right, try to get a steady line at Calvin, okay? So try to watch basically how Zixuan work on that. The eyebrow basically, when she draw basically Calvin, okay, and the rest of you guys can see how actually she tried to develop the right kind of flow and strokes at the same times, and they apply basically that kind of quality of line that we want basically from there. Even though we can actually improve more and more, okay? I'm also doesn't actually seek for any perfections all the time when I draw there, okay? But I try to focus more in the right way of tone and strokes when I draw there, okay? That's all there, okay? Because we don't put a lot of pressure on our perfections, okay? We want to achieve perfection. No, they're right. We try to gather all these informations from our hands when we draw that and try to let it flow there, okay? Naturally to work on that. Even though we can adjust a bit more further on the pupil, basically, okay, from her drawings. Okay, when you have that kind of confidence, when you build up with this kind of exercise, with this kind of project, okay, with this kind of drawings, then it will give you more understanding if you need to draw from your imagination. That's why I really emphasize on the drawings there first. Okay, because to build up this confidence is very hard. But once you get it there, okay, you can actually apply the same confidence with different kind of drawing and sketch there, okay? That's basically one of the most important thing that we need to develop, okay? Especially for these semesters in my classes there, right? Because I saw a lot of bad drawings from your seniors when they're presenting basically the final year projects kind of works. So hopefully, okay, we can avoid there, okay? We can actually prevent that kind of things that happens to you, that you actually by choice, okay, those are the things by choices there, okay. You don't practice a lot there, okay. And actually that doesn't have any kind of attentions there to develop the kind of understanding there in the early stage. So they've been carried all these kind of mistakes there, okay, after all these years until their degree there sometimes, okay. Until degree kind of studies there, okay, they spend around more than 4 years basically in college and universities, okay, they keep doing the same mistakes there. Can you imagine that, right, guys? Where's basically the value there? Yes, of course, you know basically some of the things there, but your foundation is weak there, right? Okay? How actually you're going to continue them back? All right? If you don't actually feel more concern of your understanding from here, okay? Remember that what I'm saying here right now. Any questions there, guys? Any kind of inquiries there? So I believe that, okay, most of you guys have submit those kind of progressions, okay, on week 9, okay, to work on that. And I just want to remind you guys, if there is some of the progression that you haven't submit, please submit there, okay, earlier there, okay. Don't wait until week 14 that works on that. Because your kind of, what we call that burden that you're going to, challenges that you have from project 3s are going to be a little bit kind of challenges there, all right? Because why? Because the things that we want to understand is how to actually develop your skill from here, and then you must be able to gather all those kind of material by yourself. Okay, start from next week, all right? So week 11, so we are going to start 3 weeks of our project 3 there, right? Okay, so we might going to have some sort of a lot of progressions kind of submissions, okay, in each week, okay. So make sure you actually prepare yourself your drawing stroke there first, okay, before you're going to develop the next kind of projects there, the final ones there, okay. All right, okay. Any questions? Any kind of inquiries? Okay, if you have, drop by in our WhatsApp group there, okay, as usuals. Thank you very much, that's Zichuan there, okay. And the rest of you guys, okay, Tianren, Calvin, okay, thank you very much there for basically sharing basically your demonstrations over here. I know it's hard, Calvin. Be patient, that works on that, okay. So slowly develop, but frequently practice there, okay. Those are the things. All right. So the rest of you guys, thank you very much. Okay, have a good kind of afternoon there, okay. Have a good lunch. Take care of yourself. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sir.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome there, right.